Alright guys, I'm going to be going over the top 5 sync pairs that I do not like in Pokemon Masters. And feel free to let me know in the comments below your top 5 sync pairs that you do not like. Because of course this is going to be all opinion based. So like my top 5 could be like your top 5 that you really like. So like it goes either way, like you either hate them or you like them, so it's all opinion. So let me know your top 5 that you do not like, because it's always going to be different for everybody. Maybe some similarities here and there, but for the most part it's going to be different. So this is going to be interesting for sure, to see what your top 5 that you don't like either. So anyways, this is going to be my top 5, so let's start right away. So the number 5 spot, or the number 5 spot that I don't like, and we're gonna go from 5 to 1, so like from my least favorite to like the one that I really don't like. So we're gonna start off with number 5 with Sharon and Stellan. Now, I'm not much of a fan of normal type Pokemon in general, so like even in the main series games, like I'm not much of a fan of normal type Pokemon, but there are a few that I actually do really like. But Stellan is definitely not one of them. Sharon as a character I do really like, but Stellan, yeah, I'm not, he doesn't, sit well with me. I don't like him. As a support role, like we can see like his physical defensive capabilities, like he is okay physical defensively wise, but like at 20 out of 20, like this guy is going to be sitting at 239 physical defense, so like he's okay. But the thing is, he doesn't give defense to anybody. His training move increases the move gauge of all ally sync pairs by 2 and makes all ally sync pairs gradually heal themselves. So like it's a good trainer move. Like it's solid, but not the best. But it is fairly good. And then full heal is good too, which is fine. But personally, I'm not much of a fan of these guys. But like I said, I am a fan of Sharon, but Stellan I do not like at all. Just my personal preference or personal feelings about Stellan, but yeah, Stellan and Sharon are number 5, and for number 4, like again, all these are personal preferences, but for number 4, where did he go? Oh, there we go. It's a she. Number 4 is gonna have to be Caitlyn and Reuniclus. They, like, just like with Sharon, like when I look at them though, I don't get interested at all. Same with Sharon and Stellan. When I look at these guys, like I don't get interested in them at all. Like I don't want to put them on a team. The only time I would actually put them on a team is if I really need to. Like for example in Champion Stadium, when I didn't have a good psychic type Pokemon, and I wanted to make sure I was hitting very hard, I would use Caitlyn because she does have move gauge refresh or move gauge boost, which does help. Because of that, like I put her on the team for Champion Stadium, but now with other options in the game, like I'd rather use them instead of Caitlyn and Reuniclus. Like Hidden Power, I'm not much of a fan of in this game. Like I if I remember correctly, Hidden Power in the main series games, it changes based on the environment that you're in. Or is it Secret Power? I think it's Secret Power that that does that, or is it Hidden Power? Hidden Power is based on like your typing or something like that. So like if you're a bug type, then it would be a rock type move or something like that. Or is it Secret Power? I'm getting them mixed up. I think it's Secret Power that that changes based on the environment. So like if you're in like a sandstorm, then it would turn into like a ground or rock type move. But I think Hidden Power is based on like your actual typing. So because of that, like if it was like that from the main series games, then Hidden Power and Caitlyn would be much more interesting for me to use, because then for them being Psychic type, they're weak to Ghost. So then Hidden Power could be a Ghost type as well, and then you could sort of go up against Ghost type Pokemon no problem and be good damage wise as well. So I don't know, if Hidden Power was like that, like from the main series games, it would be much more interesting. But I don't know. What else they can do, like they're not very fun in my personal opinion. Like they can definitely hit hard, because like when we look at their special attack, like they are, like it's pretty high. And then of course, like if you get them to 20 out of 20, like they are going to be pretty solid, like 419 special attack. Like they can definitely hit hard, but I don't know, I'm not much of a fan of them. And then when we look at their passive, like they have antitoxin, so they cannot get poisoned, they cannot get burned, and then they cannot get trapped as well. So like it's situational for their passive. So like they're pretty like bland, and I'm just not much of a fan of them. Like Caitlyn, like I kind of like her as a character, but ridiculous, not much as well. And they're just not really fun in the Pokemon Masters either. Like, don't bore me from the training move. It's almost taking it like literal. Like, they're pretty boring. But that's just my personal opinion. Number 3, like you did hear me talk about them quite a bit in previous videos, but it is gonna be Rourke and Rampardos. I do really like Rampardos and Rourke, but with what they can do with Pokemon Masters, I'm just not much of a fan of. I'm not much of a fan of them in Pokemon Masters, just because, one, they got shafted big time. Like, Head Smash, like, they can do a lot of damage. They can definitely do a lot of damage, but they can also do a lot of damage to themselves, which is a big drag for sure, because, like, when we look at the recoil, 33%. Like, that's insane. And then when we look at their passive, like, they only have Headstrong, so they don't have anything to reduce the recoil that they take. So, like, you're going to be sitting at 33% recoil damage. And then when you have them at 5 stars, 20 to 20, like, they're going to do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of damage because the base power for Head Smash is 225 when you have them 5 out of 5. So, yeah, they can definitely hit hard, but they can hit hard to themselves as well. So, like, one Head Smash is going to do way too much damage to you, and it could potentially knock you out too. With one Head Smash, like, they do have 904 HP, and then when you get them the 5 stars, like, they're going to be very close to 1000 HP, which is very high. But it's very high because of Head Smash being a 33% recoil move. But, like, when you're at 5 stars, you're going to be doing way too much damage to yourself. So, like, you're probably not even going to survive one Head Smash. But because of that, like, they're basically not usable. Like, you probably can go for a Smackdown, but, like, it's only a 24 base power move at 5 out of 5, and it's just not gonna hit as hard. Like, it is only a 1 gauge move, so you can spam it, but the damage, like, you're gonna be better off with Head Smash, but, like, it's only gonna be a 1 use because you're gonna die after that. So because of that, like, Rourke is number 3. Like, I do really like it, but like them, but they're just not usable because Head Smash just does way too much damage to yourself. So they're number 3, and then for number 2, it is gonna have to go to Miltank and Whitney. These guys are something else. One of the reasons why they are number 2 is because of flashbacks from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They were a pain in the ass in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I'm pretty sure anybody that plays, like, the original Gold and Silver games or Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes, you came across Whitney and Miltank, and they're a big problem, especially early on in the game. Like, they're a big problem. So that's one of the reasons why, if you know what I'm talking about. And another reason why, like I said earlier, I'm just not much of a fan of normal types, and Miltank's design I don't like their design at all. Like, they're a tech type, so, like, obviously their moves are going to be, like, more secondary effect, like, their secondary effects are going to be more useful than, like, you're going to want to use their secondary effects more than them actually being, like, an offensive type, because both their moves have secondary effects. So, like, Stomp, you can flinch them, and then Body Slam, you can paralyze. So, like, both of them combined, like, they're going to be pretty solid. And then they're passive, they have mad strength, so, like, every time you attack, you have a chance to increase your physical attack, so then over time you're going to be doing more damage. And they have X speed to increase their speed, and they're a pretty fast Pokemon, even in the main series games. Like, they're actually surprisingly fast for some reason. A cow being, like, faster than quite a bit of Pokemon. And then their training move is pretty solid too, like, restores a bit of the user's HP and sharply raises their defense, so, like, they do become defensively better, even though their physical defense is pretty low. But at 5 stars, obviously it's going to be a little bit higher, but still nothing, like, too crazy. But, like, they're not interesting. Like, they're not very interesting at all. Like, if they had something else on their passive, like, their gimmick is, like, healing, because they're a cow, so, like, every time they drink milk or something, like, they heal up, so they could have something unique to them, so, like, milk drink or something, so, like, every time you're low on HP, and it could constantly go, so, like, every time you're, like, under 40% HP, you heal up, and there's no limit to that. So like in order for you to actually like die, you have to get hit like in one shot from 50% to 0. And I think that would be fitting for them. Like I don't know, like something to make them better, because right now like I'm just not much of a fan of them, and like I said, personal preference, they just bring back terrible flashbacks every time I see them. So like yeah, I don't want to use them. And there's better options to flinch and paralyze the target nowadays anyways. So I don't know, that's just me. They're number 2 for me. And then the number 1 spot is gonna have to go to Plumeria. Like, okay, I do really like Salazzle. She is a very, very cool Pokemon. Like when I first saw them in Sun and Moon, like I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get them on my team. But in Pokemon Masters, that's not the case. When they first came out, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get them because I do really like Salazzle, very cool Pokemon. But going into the game, like later on, they definitely aged very, very fast. They don't hit too hard. Their AoE isn't okay. Their AoE is okay. You can't paralyze the target, which is good. And then same with this one, you can't poison. Like you have a chance to poison them on both moves, which is good. But Smog doesn't do too much damage. Sludge Wave, like it's okay. But she doesn't increase her. Oh, she does. Raises the user's special attack and speed by up to 3 stat ranks based on the amount remaining in the user's move gauge. So, like that's fine. Like she's fine. But the thing is, like, her special attack stat isn't really that great. And like again, when I see Plumeria and Salazzle, like I do really like Salazzle, but like compared to other poison types in the game now, like I'd rather use them. Like when we look at the poison types, like we could just filter this very, very quickly. Poison, like I'd rather honestly use Crobat. I'd rather use like these guys here, Seviper and Lucy. Like Salazzle, I'm just not much of a fan of, and Crobat and Koga, they can hit harder than Salazzle too, and I feel they're more fun than Salazzle and Crobat and or Salazzle and Plumeria. I don't know, it's just me personally. Like Venoshock is more fun, Poison Fang is more fun. They're fast, they can evade, like they are like honestly better, especially with their grid expansion too. Like Plumeria, like don't get me wrong, like they're okay, like they're okay. They have their uses for sure, but they're like me personally, like I do like Salazzle, like I said, but Plumeria, I don't really like the character too much. And the passive, they are super duper effective too, which is good. And then they cannot get poisoned, and then they cannot get burned as well. So almost like Reuniclus, but with the added effect of super duper effective. But super duper effective again is situational, and you're not always going to be facing up against Pokemon that are weak against poison types. So like I don't know, they could have given them crits or something to make them do more damage, and that's the thing as well that holds them back. They don't have crits. But yeah, like if they had something else other than Smog, like maybe Sludge Bomb, they definitely would have been much better, because then they would have had a good single target move. Like they have a pretty solid AoE poison type move, but I don't know. Something about them, like I just don't like using them as much as the other Pokemon in the game. And that's why for me personally, they are in the number 1 spot for me. But yeah, we all have our preferences, of course, but this is my this is my top 5. But yeah, let me know your top 5 that you do not like in Pokemon Masters. This is my list. Maybe the reasoning for me giving Salazzle the number 1 spot isn't that great, but like I don't know, like personally I'm just not much of a fan of Salazzle and Plumeria. So like every time I look at them, it's like, yeah, I don't want to use them at all. So I don't know, but let me know your top 5. Obviously we're all gonna have our like different opinions, so like it's gonna be interesting to see what you guys have for your top 5 Pokemon that you don't like in Pokemon Masters. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, let me know your top 5 that you do not like, and I'll see you guys later.